jet.
Where to go?
Talking cards, you know the rest. Short prints, they collect the rarest cards. You gotta accept.
Okay.
All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another Thursday Night Live edition of Blabbin Bout Slabbin. We are your hosts, Jeff and Chris. I like your comment, SFO Sox fan. Unfortunately, not a reality today.
Sadly.
Yeah. Hello, Curator Cardboard. Hi, John. Oh, boy. Just filled up 3 extra large Yetis. Wow. All right.
Let's go.
A drink. Okay. Well, there's a lot to talk about. I feel like last time we were here, Shohei Otani just founded the 50-50 club.
He did.
And he's not really slowing down a lot.
No, I mean, it helps when he's able to bat, Jeff. There's only so much he can do when the 9 hitters wrap it into a quick triple play. But
yeah, how about that? In a game-winning situation, it would have been for him.
Yeah, that would have been really exciting against their closer. That would have been great. But, baseball's a cruel mistress, as we know. It doesn't always give us what we want.
Then he came back the next day and had put him ahead twice, right? In the game.
Yes, go-ahead hits. Yeah, he's a monster.
Did you see that quote that was going around? I think I sent it to our chat about how he said he was pressing a little too hard early in the season with runners in scoring position because he was reminded of when he was on the Angels. He thought he would only have one chance to do that.
I mean, is that a real quote? That really, there's a really good like satire baseball account, or more than one on Instagram, and there's one that does really good fake quotes. I thought for sure that had to be fake. I don't know if that
probably is, but it was just rubbing a little salt in the wounds of the Angels.
It rang of truth, Jeff.
Yeah, it did. Yeah,
but yeah, SFO Sox fan is right. Manny Machado with that throw to second base was absolutely incredible. I mean, that's like off his back foot. I think that they stack gas at 85 miles an hour, right to the second baseman's chest, exactly where it needed to be. Just an absolute thing of beauty.
Hey, Card Deal, what's the extra 40 on there?
Doubles.
40 years old? Oh, doubles. Okay.
Doubles. I think he had 38th yesterday, I think.
All right. Well, he's still not at Cleveland legend Albert Bell. Remember when he got the 100 extra base hits?
Yes.
He didn't have
that was like, I think that counted. Was that the same year that he knocked Fernando Vina into a different universe? So he probably suspended for at least one of those games.
Yeah.
38, 40.
Great memories. Great memories. Will's Chris and I have been talking a lot about Machado lately, and he's a very polarizing figure, as evidenced in some of the comments we get on our videos when we talk about him. I mean, from future Hall of Famer to trash heap, right?
Yeah. I mean, all Red Sox fans hate him, because he messed up Pedroia. So I get it. And several of the Dodger fan friends that we have aggressively hate him too, because he didn't play great when he came over at that trade deadline deal. But I mean, I don't know. I think people haven't been thinking about him much because San Diego, before the last couple of years, San Diego wasn't doing a ton. But you start looking at what he's doing. You see that play over and over again. You go to his baseball reference and you're like, damn, this guy's been good for a long time.
For sure. And I think you made a good point. I don't know if it was here or on Spitballing, but you talked about the moment he had the blow up with Tatis in the dugout that really showed he was kind of taking on that leadership role.
Yes.
So yeah, I mean, he had his moments, and spiking the Brewers pitcher at first base, not great when he was with the Dodgers. But I feel like so. At least some people in our comments agree, but he probably, because of that, he'll never be collected the way a guy like Trout or Otani is collected. But
correct. All right, real quick, quick shout outs. Hello, Flawed Thinker. Thanks for joining us. Jeff Black, how you doing? I collect Ichiro. Hi guys. Hope your Thursdays are going well. I want to start. Actually, I see Jeff Black's name on there, so I want to talk about this while he's here. About a month ago, maybe a little bit longer ago, Jeff, I told this lengthy and admittedly too long story, which I'm about to do again, about a card I was trying to purchase, and due to a typo from the seller, my PayPal payment never went through. And so he didn't take it off of eBay, and someone else just snatched it up off of eBay and then posted on Instagram how when you see a card you love, you just have to buy it. You know, I learned this from like Baseball Card Addict and My Favorite Cardboard. And I'm just like, son of a bitch.
Yeah, he learned
Twisting
well.
a knife. So anyway, I get a message out of the blue from Jeff Black, who's now one of my 5 favorite people in the world.
Why?
Who told me that he's looking to move into something bigger, and he was willing to sell me his copy of that card that had been so brutally yanked out from under me
at only 3 times the price that you're previously going to pay for it.
Now, I was like, first of all, I probably said some overtly sexual things to him that may have made him uncomfortable, and that's not going to stop anytime soon. But I actually said to him, I was like, listen, I will pay you like this amount. And he said, that's too much. So my viewers, Jeff, are pretty great people.
A seller. Wow.
So anyway, it arrived yesterday. So this is to date the only on-card auto.
You got that one. All right.
Of this Acuna image. So Jeff Black, if you're still here, again, thank you very much. I absolutely still owe you. So if I can help you land that bigger card, please let me know. But yeah, this is special. I love this thing.
Yes, that's the picture you've been wanting, the image, and the fact that it's the auto is great.
Yeah, and clearly, I don't know if Topps is ever going to give this to us on anything else, Jeff, besides a stupid like heritage subset card.
Probably.
I don't know.
Probably.
But my fingers are crossed for Stadium Club, and if there's a Stadium Club auto, I'll be buying that one too. But yeah, this card is special. I actually, when I showed my wife the card, she audibly gasped because she remembered it. She remembered the story, and obviously she was watching the game with me. She remembered it happened. And she was like, that's the auto? And then panic set in. She's like, oh my God, like how much did you pay for this? Like, because she basically said what you did. She's like, that guy must know you're an idiot. I'm like, well, I'm not hiding my stupidity, but at any rate. So ATL Jeff Black, thank you again. Very, very much appreciated. You made me very happy. Whew.
That's incredible. I'm glad the card, it had a circuitous journey, but it found its way to you. So excellent.
There's only 8 others out there, and I haven't seen them. I don't know. I guess there's 5 reds, so there's 13 total, or 15 total. So there's 13 others out there. I haven't seen them though.
I see a lot of talk in the chat about one of our favorite cards, Chris, the Stadium Club Chrome Otani.
Ooh.
I was listening intently to Chris's story, so I'm not sure exactly who brought it up. Red and Yellow said he has that in orange out of 25. I believe that's the card he's talking about. Oh yeah, John picked up a Stadium Club Chrome.
Yeah, I mean, I love that card, and we've talked about it at length. It's not like mass produced. There aren't millions of them. That product was fairly limited. If you look at the pop report, I think there's like 40 10 X-fractors and like 40 PSA 10 refractors, but I don't, that number is not going to get, the base card number isn't going to get anywhere near, what a flagship or even a finest or Bowman Chrome gets to. But I think it's a great card.
Wow. Yeah. This is Red and Yellow said he got an HGA 10, cracked it out, hopes of getting an auto.
Nice.
He bought it after we so yeah, if anybody hasn't seen our video, Chris and I recently posted a video on our Blabbin channel about Otani cards that are under $100 to pick up. Of course, that was the day after he got to 50-50, and since some of them have went up. And I have to make an admission here, Chris. I've bought a couple of those cards since. So not very bright. I should have bought them before we talked about them, but talking about them made my desire for them even greater. So I bought the Heritage Action with the Rookie Cup.
Yes.
That we talked about.
We're going to pull these up, Jeff.
Yeah, pull that one up.
I'll pull that one up. You pull the other one.
I'm trying to think of which the other I bought.
2021, I think, is the one you told me about. You were looking at.
I did. Let me take a look at, so we can remind people of what that one is like. So I know we talked about not being a great time to buy Otani
FOMO
card.
is real.
Hmm.
FOMO is real.
Yeah,
And
it is.
no one's immune to it. Jeff and I certainly. This is one of the 2 cards Jeff apparently bought. But I like to think that your brief buying spree adds credibility to our video, though.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of like the antithesis of a pump and dump. It's like pump so I can pay more for the card. It just doesn't really make sense. But what are you going to do? Here comes another bump. Yeah, I'm going to try to buy it. So yeah, I haven't found this one yet. So
any wordsmiths in the chat? I know we have some people who are really good at wordplay. So we need something that rhymes, and let's try to keep it at least only to R, no NC-17. We need something that rhymes with pump and dump, but for like acquiring. So what's the phrase for pump and then acquire? Which is like, that's not what you're supposed to do, obviously, but it does happen. I think there was a question at Tedo. By the way, Tedo, if you were asking what this is from Topps Series 2. It's an insert set called 4070. And there are very limited autos. There's 10 different cards. Take a look.
Here's the image, Chris.
Oh, yeah.
The batting practice image where the ball is about to be crushed into probably the ocean, or at least the coast.
Yep.
And so I couldn't stay away. In fact, I bought 2 of these raw. We're getting some good suggestions. A pump and pump. Oh, look at this is a great one. Brag and snag.
Brag and snag.
It almost makes it sound like it's a smart move, but it's
yeah, the snag and brag is the smart move. I don't know about doing it in reverse. Pump and blow, Zane. I don't hate that one. And Tedo's is pretty good too up here. The old pump and hump.
Pump and hump. I kind of like that.
Yeah, that's like, not bad.
No, the pump and hump. Ben is right. Pump and chump. Yeah.
That might be the one. That might be the most accurate one we're gonna get.
Yeah. Bazooka Tom, second straight week I listen to the show, and all I want to do is buy Otani immediately. Yeah, that's the problem when we talk about him. But it's just hard not to talk about him and see what he's doing. He's just doing some hype and bite. All right.
Ooh, hype and bite. Okay. All right. Kind of a little.
Gotta get a pencil. Jot these down. Will says, "Don't ask, don't tell," or it should be just tell and then buy.
Don't tell is the key.
Brag and snag. Brag and snag.
Brag and snag is pretty good. I'm leaning pump and hump.
Snag and brag, right? It should be snag and brag because then you buy it and then you talk about what a great deal you got. Brag and snag is like bragging about what a great card it is, and you don't own it, and then you have to go pay extra for it. So I guess that's true.
And you can brag about what a great deal the seller got.
Yes.
Yeah.
So anyway, but if you haven't checked out that video, please check it out. Some of the cards are still under $100. He's still got a really great finest rookie, really great looking card. And then we had some people commenting, Chris, they wanted to know like what the next tier is, if we would be buying cards from the next tier.
Maybe we can get into that one next. We'll try to find some stuff between like $500 and $2K. I mean, that market is moving, kind of fluctuates regularly, and sometimes it's just not available too. Yeah. I do like that 2021 is still sitting there, and that's not our card, by the way. We're not trying to sell that. That's not ours. Ooh, grab and blab. Ooh, Austin, I think you got that backwards though.
Yes, it's got to be the blab and grab.
Yeah. I think. I think M. Parsons. Maybe flip that one around.
Blab and grab. So the blab and grab. So maybe we'll have to look at some in the next tier, and some of these cards in this tier are moving up to that tier, I guess. I don't know.
I mean, it's hard. It's hard to watch him and not get excited and not want some skin in the game.
So ATL Jeff Black is the adult in the room, staying away from Otani. He can't afford the cards I want, so no point for me now. I mean, that's the most sensible thing to do.
Well, what ATL Jeff Black needs to do, Jeff, is just message me with more cards he knows I want, and I'll fund whatever Otani purchase he's looking to make.
That's right. Yeah.
But
all right.
Thorson, if I'm saying that right in the chat, made a reference to, if you guys saw any of the last game in Oakland today, like people in the stands were throwing smoke bombs into the outfield. I hadn't seen anything like that since like the videos of Disco Demolition Night and 10-cent beer.
10-cent beer night. It's kind of it's rough there, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it's brutal. I mean, the fans were throwing, and 100% rightly so, throwing garbage. I mean, it's thing you don't want to hurt the players, but you hurt that owner. That guy is such a bastard. I don't understand why Major League Baseball won't just take the team away from him. I don't know if that is they have to vote him out. I'm not sure what the rules are there.
I don't know either, because I mean, it was a similar kind of situation with Montreal where the MLB kind of took ownership. I don't know. It's I did enjoy seeing the guy ripping the seats out of the stadium and then being chased.
But, yeah, I want to know if he got them out of the park. I can't imagine he did, but I hope he did.
I hope he did too. Yeah.
OG Sports Cards. Yeah, that one's great. There's also, I don't know if you guys listen to podcasts. I assume you do if you're here. But there's one called The Dollop where they talk about history. And there's a great dollop about 10-cent beer night. It's about an hour and 20 minutes to listen to. And it is spectacular. I think it was in Cleveland and the entire city almost burned to the ground, including the river, which is a very funny part of the podcast.
The idea that passed enough people that said this was a good idea. I can't believe it.
Yeah. It's one of those things you wish you were in the room to hear them like talk about it. I can only imagine.
I can imagine that. I mean, most stadiums have stopped bat night because that started to create a little craziness as well.
Yes, I think by the third inning of Frisbee night, you're just sitting in your seat with your covering your head because there have to just be wayward Frisbees constantly.
Yeah.
I collect Etro here. It was talking about this is on YouTube if you guys can find it. I think that some people shared it on Instagram as well. But a local Oakland news anchor just went ballistic on the A's owner, and it's fantastic. And like he kept it together, and he said all the things that you would want to say about what a piece of trash this guy is. He's just a cheap SOB, doesn't care about the fans, doesn't care about the team. And interestingly, I recently learned they don't even have funding lined up for this Vegas stadium yet. Nothing official. They haven't presented it to Major League Baseball. So there's a plan, but there's no like.
Sounds familiar. It's a concept of a plan, huh?
The concept of a plan, yeah. So we're gonna have to. I do encourage. I hate the idea of giving that guy money, but the idea of seeing a Major League game in that little Sacramento stadium sounds really fun next summer.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, between the rage they're feeling for their owner and the rage that White Sox fans are feeling towards their owner, especially after he came out and said, we're not going to be going into free agency this offseason. Okay. It's just the gap between the haves and have-nots is getting bigger in baseball, as I've talked about for a long time. And it just,
I get actually, I kind of understand that White Sox not going in aggressively into free agency, Jeff, just because there's so many pieces away, but then you got to slash your tickets dramatically.
Which they did for this last homestand. They slashed ticket prices and even beer prices, not to 10 cents as they should. But but to be openly admitting that seems like a bad idea.
It does. Yeah.
Good point. Good point, SFO Sox fan. They don't really fall into that category, or they shouldn't, because it's a huge market.
Yeah. Yeah, it's hard to believe. It's hard to see a Chicago team like being pinching pennies. That's tough.
And the fans are booing when they win because they want to see history. They want to see them lose.
Only the Angels, Jeff, can be swept by this White Sox team. Only the Angels.
We'll see what our pal Teapot says if they manage to sweep the Tigers.
Oh my goodness! All right, Matt McNeil recommends Dallas Braden's post-game comments. I haven't had a chance to listen to those, but I will check those out.
They're probably not safe for work, but I can imagine that he.
See, like, isn't he like one of the radio guys or TV guys for them? So I mean,
so if he did it on air, probably
he's kind of risking his job a little bit. But it's I can't imagine he's getting paid a lot. But let's see.
Just sort of off the subject, Dave Dixon says, would be fun to do an episode on Otani cards to avoid. No way all his cards retain the spike in value over time.
That is really interesting.
I say, if you can, to stay away from all of his mass-produced rookies, graded or not.
Yeah, no base cards.
His Topps Chrome, all the base cards, yes. Definitely stay away from those. I mean, there's very few non-rookie base cards that are worth collecting. We talked about a couple of those with their images. Mostly they're super short prints or short prints, though, following that. I see people buying up like second and third year base cards. I just don't know what the purpose of that's going to be.
I don't get that either. I mean, the PSA 10 pops might be low, but I mean, people are just going to start grading them, and then those pops are going to explode. I mean, at a certain price point, depending on what you have to spend, the cards I would avoid, actually, if we're not talking about cost or whatever, Topps Chrome would probably be the rookies I would stay away from, because he has two of them, right? He's got the base Topps Chrome, the update Topps Chrome, refractors in both, X fractors in both, golds in both, and then update. He's got two cards. So
yes, you bring the rookie debuts in,
I could get. Abel in Vegas points out here that that nothing has been submitted to the stadium board here in Vegas, but that hotel where they want to do it is getting demolished. I don't know. That could just be, the whole thing could be super interesting and sad
if it backfires.
Yeah, I mean, if it ends up falling through and they can't get like stadium funding approved, then what? What do they do? Yeah. I feel bad for guys like Brent Rooker and Lawrence Butler and Langoliers, guys who like are really good.
And they're just getting started, and then they have to deal with this.
But yeah, dark horse next year in your fantasy leagues, move Brent Rooker up quite a few spots, because I have read that the dimensions in Sacramento are very hitter friendly. And he just put up, almost 40 home runs at Oakland?
Yeah.
You could have a Vladimir Guerrero Jr.
I was going to say, shades of Vladdy in Buffalo, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and Mason Miller, good point.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Okay.
The A's moved to Montreal. Yeah.
That'd be pretty funny.
Nashville, that's where the Brewers AAA team is, and they get pretty good support there.
Yeah, I haven't been to Nashville, but I've heard that it's really fun.
Tom, what is this? 58. Is that an Otani stolen base? Judge home run? What are we talking?
I think it's a Judge home run. I'm seeing multiple people in the comments here talk about Judge homering. Yeah, he's on a heater again. You almost, if you're the Yankees, you want him to like slow down. Don't burn it out now.
Save it. Yeah.
He had that huge power outage. Now he's home and he can just, I wouldn't say chip balls out to right, but yeah, I mean, I couldn't believe he's out there in center field. I just couldn't believe it. Like today, like they've clinched so much and they're still running him out there. I just picture like a little kid juggling chainsaws, and it's just, I don't know. I hope he's healthy. I want to see him healthy in the playoffs. The Yankees might be the healthiest American League team going into October.
Yep. D-backs, that's sad to hear after their run last year that they're having issues.
Their ballpark is so nice.
Yeah.
I hate these owners so much, Jeff. Like, your team should be these guys are all wealthy enough. The team is their hobby. Like, they shouldn't be nickel and diming all this stuff. Like, it drives me crazy.
I know. It's just really annoying, though. I wish the union would agree to have a salary cap and floor. It would solve a lot of issues and make some sort of parity a real thing in baseball.
Yeah, absolutely. Jeff Black says he was hoping that Braves would go after Rooker. I mean, theoretically, they'd have nowhere to play him after this year, and the A's aren't going to trade someone like that. So Alessandro Chan here asks if the $59.99 complete flagship set has rookie short prints. Isn't there usually like 5 of them in the complete sets, Jeff, or is that not a thing?
I cannot keep track. Like I
feel like there's usually 5 like paper short prints in the retail complete sets.
One they sell
they're very common. They're not rare.
Yeah.
And then that's where the chromes come from. Then there's like, one out of every 1,000 sets has a chrome, and then the chromes have parallels as well. Something like that. But Alessandro, I would not go rushing it to buy a sealed complete set for $60. But anyway. All right, what do we got here? Oh, wow, a lot of people talking about this Judge home run. Was it like a giant bomb or something? All right, Jorge wants to know, Jeff, how I feel about
I erased Jorge's.
Okay. Jorge wants to know how I feel about this doubleheader on Monday.
Well,
I mean, what can you do? A hurricane's coming to town.
It's created a lot of havoc in fantasy circles. I'll tell you that.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. My honest hope is that they don't play the games.
Yeah, it's a mess.
Yeah, because I mean, the first round of the playoffs start Tuesday.
Yeah.
So
I heard they might not get Friday's game in. Is that true?
Yeah, I mean, I don't. It's all weather dependent. I mean,
and I don't know what they're going to do.
Yeah. I mean, well, that one they could just do a doubleheader Saturday. Then the poor Braves are going to be playing doubleheader Saturday, 1 game Sunday, doubleheader Monday.
And then playoffs, maybe.
And then playoffs. And you could do that math. There'll be no one to pitch those first two playoff games. Like I don't know. It would be great if the Diamondbacks could just keep losing so that it's not really an issue. And then if it comes down to seeding between the Braves and Mets, I think the commissioner's office already said that they won't play the games. Like they're only going to play them if
means in or out. Makes sense.
Exactly. Which the thing that I don't like, Jeff, and I don't know if you saw this, Chris Sale was supposed to pitch yesterday.
Oh, I saw it. Yes. I've got him in 2 fantasy leagues, and now one he probably is not going to count. I don't know about your league, to be honest.
I don't know if he's even going to pitch.
Oh, he might not even. Yeah, I guess why pitch Monday?
They said today that unless they get to a game that is an elimination game for them, they're holding him back.
Well, yeah, because they can't keep deciding because they said he was going to maybe go Friday, but if Friday doesn't go, and oh yeah, I've noticed it. It makes a mess of things.
That worries the hell out of me though, because like if he pitches Friday, let's just say they run him out Friday, then we got Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. He could go game 2 of the wild card series if they're in it. But if he doesn't pitch Friday, if they hold him all the way back to Monday, and then they have to play one of those 2 games to get in, he can't start one of those first 3 playoff games.
Yeah.
And their best chance to win is him pitching because God knows they're not going to score any runs in those games. So, I mean, I get it. It's probably good to give the old guy a couple days of rest as well. But I don't know. Like you said, if it's going to be wet on Friday, you don't want him going out there anyway.
Yeah.
But
so Filmington, hey, buddy, says Judge is strong. Thought it was a fly out, but it still was hit 110 miles an hour.
Yeah, most flyouts in Yankee Stadium tend to go over the fence.
Yeah, I knew that was coming. Josh, thank you for joining us from Thailand. Appreciate that. Batteries expect Sale to pitch tomorrow.
He's not going to. They already said he's 100% not going to. Fried's pitching tomorrow on the announced.
Amari Smith, the problem with this is that if you start building those delays in, then the top seeds are getting a long time off, and it just really messes with their pitching and, frankly, their hitting.
Then they are not delaying any of those series unless like things get rained out. They're not delaying it, so they'll play that doubleheader on Monday, and they're going to play. Theoretically, they'll play 2 games in Atlanta on Monday, and then it could be that the team that emerges victorious gets on a plane, takes a red eye to San Diego, and probably plays at like 1 p.m. local time in San Diego.
Meanwhile, the Padres are like,
yeah. Oh, they love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, Dylan Cease is probably just going to rest from now till then. Yeah, free for Friday. That's what I thought, Ben. Dicey.
Bazooka Tom, gamesmanship, huh? Although Crochet hasn't been that great, right?
He'll only pitch like 4 innings anyway. But yeah, I mean, may as well, right? I mean, I had been at Thailand. I'm missing something in the in the comments, Jeff. Oh boy, I missed a lot of comments. Let's see what we got here. I'm in denial. That's funny.
Pitch like Cy Young on 2 days rest.
Yeah, like Randy Johnson in the World Series.
Randy Johnson, I was just thinking that. Yeah, you can go 3 games in the World Series. Oh, okay. We got a trade offer here. Mr. Campbell's offering a picture of Chris in Thailand for an Otani.
There is a fantastic picture of me in Thailand, and one that almost got me in trouble. A woman sort of yelled at me for taking this picture. I'm guessing that's the one that Doug Campbell was talking about. And no, I'm not trading an Otani for that. Hell,
I might know, so let me know.
Yeah, you can send that one to Jeff. He can make a nice card out of it.
Depends what Otani you're looking for. All right. Do you want to talk about some IG shout-outs?
Sure. Yeah.
I know we touched on them a little bit, so maybe we should do that before we get to.
Yeah, I think it's always good to start with that. I'll try to mow through these pretty quick, but then I get carried away and excited about other people's cards. Okay. So let's start with I think Thorson is in here, right?
Yes.
I think I just saw him a few minutes ago.
Yep.
Let me see if I can find it. Yeah. So this is number 1. First one we want to talk about is Thorson Collectibles post this 2022 Topps update Royce Lewis Black in a PSA 10. And I got to tell you guys, what's the total pop on the 2022 Topps update Blacks? I mean, I would guess there's less than 100 total PSA 10s across the whole set.
It is an incredibly hard set to gem. Black parallels in general are because of the chipping.
Yep.
But that year seemed especially bad. So congratulations, Thorson. I see he says here pop 3. I can't believe there's 2 others besides this.
I'm shocked. I think the Julio Rodriguez is like pop 3 as well. Because it's like, yeah, like you said, the chipping, the centering in 2022 was just a nightmare across all products.
Yeah.
But this is a really cool Royce Lewis shot. I would love to. Royce Lewis might go down as one of those guys, Jeff, that if he could give us 150 games, like what would the numbers be?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and he seems it's almost unfair for those poor Twins fans because it's like another Buxton, right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that's what Chris was saying too. SFO, the centering was way off. The centering on this one looks pretty nice, and the design makes it weird too. The design, top and bottom design, makes them look like they're off center even if they're not. So it's
it plays tricks on you.
It's not great.
So
2 black Julio, so he's got the market cornered on that. That's cool.
Yeah, Thorsten, congratulations, buddy. That's an awesome card. All right, next up, I want to talk about what I thought, Jeff, was the coolest card I saw all week, and it's a vintage card. You and I talked about this. We have sort of had we've had chats about really enjoying looking at like old league leaders cards from the 50s and 60s because they are just littered with home runs.
Yes.
Well, what happens if
this
somehow
is incredible?
Absolutely outrageous.
Okay. So for those of us who can't quite see, will you tell us who's on there? I'm seeing Frank Robinson.
Yes. So this has Hank Aaron, Frank Robinson, Willie Mays, Ernie Banks, and Orlando Cepeda on the 1962 Topps home run leaders card.
And all autographed.
All autographed. There's about 3,000 career home runs on this card. Signed by all 5 guys. Just
that's got to be a labor of love to get that done. You're not going to find all those guys at the same show. Nope. You're going to have to haul that card around. And
this belongs, by the way, to Big Mac's Card Box on Instagram. He had some great stuff at the Burbank show. Really nice guy. He sold me the K-line that I got my dad. I also want to just point out Hank Aaron was definitely feeling a little randy and signed his name huge right across Willie Mays.
Yeah, that had to be on purpose, right?
Had to be on purpose, yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's right across there. I want to know the order. Big Max, if you're ever watching this, put the order that these got signed in. It'd be interesting. Like, was Hank Aaron the first one? He's like, screw it, I'm going right across.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, Willie Mays led the league, but screw it, I'm going right in the middle. Yeah. I would love to know. And we should send him a message and ask him how, the order and then how.
Yeah, this would be a great story. Maybe we can have an episode. We can have him come on and talk about this card. Yeah, Chris and I, we're not big vintage collectors, you guys know, but we have talked about what would be cool for us to dip our toes in that. And some things that we like are on-card autos like this because they obviously didn't have autos. But to see 5 on one card, I mean, this is obviously now you're never going to get any more of this card autographed. And I'm guessing that during the lifetimes of these players, there weren't many autographed. So it's like an eternal pop 1 probably.
Yeah, it's just really, really cool. So congrats to Big Mac's Card Box. All right. Next up, and at sort of a different end of the spectrum, SFO Sox fan posted a really cool card this week that I wanted to show because I had never seen this card before. And I'm wondering if anyone out there is in the same boat, also has never seen it before. Oh, whoops. I hit the wrong button. Hold on. Let me.
Los Bravos, while you're looking it up, says that all those floating heads are from their 62s except Frank Robinson.
Oh, well, there you go. Okay. So this is Mookie Betts' 2016 Stadium Club, the rainbow foil out of 25.
Never seen it.
I'd never seen this before. Listen, that's a really great image. It reminded me, Jeff, of Michael Harris's Topps rookie card last year that shows him diving forward to catch a ball, which we know he did not catch.
Yeah.
I'm assuming Mookie comes up with this ball.
It looks like it's going in that way. Yeah.
But this card is great. Like I said, I'd never seen this image before. And I don't know, 2016 Stadium Club, I'm guessing it wasn't printed very, very heavily. But this was awesome. I love this. It's too bad there aren't autos on this, but we know Mookie stopped signing by then.
Yeah, sadly. Um, Rainbow foils are sweet. Somebody in the comments said yes, and I know in the description, FSO Sox fan said that it's scratched up, so he doesn't want to grade it or something, and it looks great in a one touch. It absolutely does.
Yeah, they are very condition sensitive. It doesn't even matter really. There's only 25 of them, so
no.
All right. So I believe Curator of Cardboard was just here a minute ago, and I did want to talk about a card of his that he posted, or a post of his, I should say.
Okay.
Oh boy. And hold on.
Mookie gets every ball. It seems like it.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yes, M. Parsons is pointing out this tiny easel in the background. It is very nice. It makes it look especially artistic. So SFO Sox fan, kudos on the tiny easel.
Oh, there it is. All right, come on. There we go. Okay. So this is Curator of Cardboard, and it's not so much the cards he's posting, but these are all great. We have first Bowman autos of Mookie, Freeman, and Juan Soto, and a red ink of Max Scherzer. I want to talk about what he says. It's just a reminder to people like us and people who may be watching. He writes, public service announcement. The very reason I don't rip packs is so I can buy what I want eventually. And damn, this pick makes me happy. And that's just that gets me happy too. To see someone actually spend their money on what they want instead of a chance to get what they want, you know?
Yeah, that's the hobby in a nutshell now, right? Now that products have become so expensive, that chance is really coming at a cost. And that cost is usually getting the cards that you want. So it may take a while to save up the money, and you're not getting the experience of ripping packs, but it is satisfying.
Yeah, I'm guessing, I guess, a case of 2024 Topps Chrome, probably like hobby, probably costs about the same as these 4 cards.
Yeah. And what do you think is going to happen with that case?
I'm going to guess that these 4 cards will move along in value a little bit better. For sure. But speaking of sealed stuff, the next post I want to talk about belongs to our good buddy Filmington.
I saw this and had a little tear in my eye when I saw this because it's so cool. But go ahead.
Yeah, this is great. This is just a hobby box of 2018 Topps Chrome. Just absolutely stock full of great rookies, potential on-card autos. You got Otani, Acuna. It's interesting. Filmington is a Red Sox fan, but does not mention that Devers is also in this product.
Yeah, what about the Devers love?
I don't know about that. Maybe he's just kind of denying himself the Devers joy. But man, this sealed stuff. I know you like sealed stuff too, Jeff.
I do.
How could you just have this and not open it though?
Well, look at it's a beautiful display piece. You've got an Otani right there.
That's true. It's a big Otani.
I mean, let's see if I can find my.
It even says Otani on the box, doesn't it?
Does it?
Yeah, right next to his face. It says Shohei Otani Angels. I know it's a little small on your screens, but this is just really cool. So congrats to Phil for picking this up. And yeah, I think stuff like this is going to just appreciate very nicely because every day some idiot like me is probably going to rip it if he has it.
Yeah, Phil, if you're still on here, which I think you are, how does all the recent information about the CT scan stuff affect you when you're looking at buying something like this? Because this is obviously a sizable investment. How does it affect the market, and how does it affect your view on it? So if you're still here and could answer that, that would be great.
Yeah, those are excellent questions.
Mango Bango is throwing this out. Some of the Otanis in that were redemptions. I had an orange redemption from 2018 Topps Chrome. Interesting. I didn't know that.
Is that the rookie auto redemption, the Future Star auto redemption, or the 1983 auto? I don't know which one of those. He's right. One of those is definitely a redemption, but I'm not sure which one it was. If it was like the base auto, that makes sense. Or one of the insert autos.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's just really cool to see this stuff sealed.
Curator, yes, congrats on your pickup we highlighted. And he's asking Filmington, you place these in acrylic boxes for protection and display purposes. Did you get it wrapped by BBCE?
Thorson also scrolled through Filmington's page and saw his Filmington's 3-way Otani Black collection, which looks very nice together.
Yeah.
John, I just want to go back to this comment. Yeah, we're obviously on Team Devers here. It's really unfortunate what happened with his shoulders this year. Alex Cora finally said he dove for a ball in July, and that was basically the last straw for his power. And it stinks. Like, He had 25 home runs in July and looked like he was about to have his career season. And then he dives for a ball. It doesn't land right. And you could just tell. I think he had 2 home runs the rest of the way. He was trying to gut it out for his teammates, but mercifully was finally IL'd at the end of the year. So he'll come back next year at age 28, ready to go.
Yeah, he'll still stack up the numbers, but it is disappointing seeing him not get a full season.
Yeah.
So Phil said someone had to bring up CT scanning. Yeah, sorry. Your source matters a bit more for stuff like this nowadays. Very true. Especially if you run a business, then people are going to want to know where you got it from. Yeah, that makes sense.
Does Phil know the answer? Because Mango Bango said there are some Otani autos in 2018 Topps Chrome that were redemptions. Phil, do you know which ones were redemptions and which?
Phil's saying I think the Gold Wave auto and some of the other Wave autos are expired redemptions.
Yeah. Wow. You know how we feel about those.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I got a couple more I want to just get to quickly here.
Okay.
I did see someone else was saying that, that the older Stadium Club stuff is really hard to find. And it very much is. Anyway, throw that one out there. All right, real quick. KCC cards, IG just posted this Otani card. And I every time I see it, I feel like I just want to talk about it. Otani has a ton of rookie variations. This is number one on the list if you're looking to buy one.
Yeah, that card. So now, can you remind us which release this came from?
Oh, this is the Series 2.
Series 2.
2018 Topps Series 2.
Okay. Yeah, there's just not that many of them, and they're really hard to gem. Chris and I know from experience. We have not been able to do it.
Yeah, these top corners are a problem, especially this top right one where all that black looks like behind the fence there.
Yeah.
Almost impossible to find a clean one. And again, if you have not seen Short Print a Day's page where he put together the set of 50 SSPs out of 2018, all with the same theme, it's pretty fantastic to see them all together. Check that out. But just always be aware with Otani that he has a lot of cards. All right, that one I'm going to save for the end. All right, this comes from a friend of the show, Clean Cards 5. 2016, Jeff, was the first year of Sapphire.
Yes.
Which we'll be talking about in a little bit. And it was in, you could only buy complete sets. They printed 250 complete sets. And in each complete set box, I believe he writes here, you get 13 parallels and 2 superfractors. There's a 700 card set. If a person had a Topps Chrome superfractor, they did not have a Sapphire superfractor. So this gold of Freddie Freeman is numbered 2-5 and is essentially the best parallel in the set. And this card is awesome. It popped up on eBay, and he was Clean Cards 5 messaged me and someone else, and I was like, dibs? And so he went home with this card, and it's pretty special. As a player collector, if you can find a gold from the set of a guy you collect, it's pretty great.
Yeah, and those Sapphire golds, those early years, I remember I got a Verlander in a Tigers break one time. Or it was, I think he was still Tigers then. And I got to see it in hand, and they just really pop. They're kind of almost reminiscent of how you talk about the Hope Diamond popping off.
Yeah.
Which I've not seen in person. Yeah,
this card is great. So congrats to him. It's one of the cooler, non-rookie Freddie Freemans out there. I saw, Jeff, can you pull up John's comment there? He just mentioned he picked up some Austin Riley cards. And news came out on Tuesday, I think, that Riley will not come back this year. So, John, that's on you. I didn't buy any Austin Riley cards.
Rookie refractor auto. Then he got hurt. Then September 7th, got a great deal on a true blue refractor auto. Then he found out he's done. But maybe that's why you got the good deal on the true blue refractor auto. So maybe it'll pay off.
The true blue is still fantastic, though. I think that's great. He'll be fine. He needs an off season for that to heal. I'm sick and tired of these pitchers throwing 1,000,000 miles an hour and no idea where it's going. It cost us 2 months of Mookie, and it's going to cost us 2 months of Riley. It's just a shame. There's nothing we can do about it, and they don't really get any, comeuppance, which is too bad.
Yep.
Okay, all right, I got 2 more. This one belongs to another friend of the show, Ginter Wood Minis. He has been posting a countdown of his 100 favorite Wood Minis that he has, and he's got over 1,300. So I think this was difficult for him to narrow down. As you can see, he cheated and put 2 in this, which is something you and I do as well, Jeff.
Yes.
So this is 2010, and Buster Posey and Madison Bumgarner's there. Ginter Wood Mini rookies. These are 1/1s. Look how young these guys look. And there's a lot of upcoming hardware in this post, Jeff.
Yeah, that's crazy to think that they were both rookies in that set. And then it was 3 championships in the next 5 years.
Yeah. With an MVP, a World Series MVP, at least 1 Rookie of the Year. Just incredible. To have both of these 1/1s is pretty awesome.
Now, are all the Woods 1/1s, Chris?
I believe so.
About the Wood Minis.
I believe they are, but don't. If I'm wrong, don't come at me with pitchforks. All right, I lied. I want to just really quick. I just want to point out I posted a Craig Kimbrell card this week, and so did Ben Orr 14 sports cards. And we talk about images on cards, and this is one of the best uses of the horizontal.
Great space.
Yeah, exactly.
Space
just fantastic.
Yep, that's how people are going to remember Kimbrell, not the shell of a pitcher that's been around the last couple of years, especially getting DFA'd in Baltimore. That's rough.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. But there's my favorite Kimbrell stuff to look at online, Jeff, are the videos of the fans behind home plate mimicking this. It's awesome.
It is pretty funny. Yep.
But this is, like we said, that's just a beautiful card. That's the kind of imagery Topps, the kind of imagery and effort that Topps used to give us.
Yeah, and I think there'd be more horizontal card fans if they had more images like this.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, all right, last one. And we don't talk about other sports very much on this show.
That's true.
But this one Instagram account posted a hockey card. So bear with me for a minute. Even Jeff, even you will have heard of all these hockey players. It's a multi-auto card from SP Authentic. It's a sign of the times, numbered out of 10. This comes from Leslie Snipes 187. And my jaw actually dropped open when I saw this thing. So this is a quad auto of Wayne Gretzky, Bobby Orr, Gordie Howe, and Mario Lemieux.
All right. I like how Gordie Howe says Mr. Hockey. He doesn't even have his name up there. Yeah.
I don't even know what to compare this to. I know our buddy Ephus Pitch was doing like Mount Rushmore of baseball players, but this is probably the inarguable Mount Rushmore of hockey players. These are on card, numbered out of 10. I mean, this is incredible.
Yeah, I'm reading what he says there. He's been tracking it for 6 years, he or she, Leslie. Only 20 of these got quads signed out of 10 from this year. Wow.
Yeah, I think it looks like they did it twice in 2 different sets. But I mean, good Lord. But yeah, you're right. He's 6 years. So basically, we were bordering on stalking here. Yeah, in a way.
Which Thorson is also talking about felonious acts that he would commit for that.
Right? I mean, this is amazing. What, like, I don't know. Like, I know there's amazing hockey cards. Like, I guess if you had an O-Pee-Chee Gretzky rookie that was like a PSA 9 or 10 signed, like, is that better than this? I don't know that it is. I think this might be one of the greatest hockey cards ever made.
Now, let's see. Is Bobby Orr still alive?
I could not tell you. I think so. I feel like if Bobby Orr had passed away, the city of Boston, would have declared like a national holiday or something, or a national day of mourning.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean it didn't happen. I don't know. And these all look like pretty good signatures too.
They do. Yeah. You're not going to get more of them.
No. That's just, man, I just keep looking at it. Honestly, I could phase out just staring at this.
Yeah, a lot of appreciation in the comments, even by its primarily baseball card collectors.
Yeah, BFG pointing out the same thing you did. That it just says Mr. Hockey, and I like that they put the R on there too.
Registered trademark.
Yeah, we enjoyed signing that.
Yeah. And Bobby Orr is still alive. Thank you everybody in the chat for letting us know.
Yeah. Look at that head of hair on Bobby Orr too.
Yeah, no helmet.
Well, I mean, that hair looks like it was going to protect him pretty well.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Okay.
Matthew says, here's a hot take. I'd put Ovechkin in Lemieux's place, but otherwise that's pretty much perfect. So
That's fair. I mean, that would be an interesting discussion. I suppose because Lemieux had non-Hodgkin's lymphoma for a couple of years, he did miss out on some counting stats. And I suppose you could probably argue Sidney Crosby potentially there too. But for someone that Lemieux was like my era of really watching and loving hockey, so I'm on Team Lemieux all day long. But yeah, I think Ovechkin could. You're right. You can make a case. Outside shot, right, at catching Wayne Gretzky's goals record. Very outside, but not impossible.
All right, Thorson, we're going to create a little riot in the chat. Thorson says absolutely not. Lemieux, in my opinion, is the best to ever do it.
When you watched him live, it was crazy, just so quick. But anyway,
yeah. All right, that is great. I wanted to do a little segment tonight, Chris.
Yeah.
We haven't done before, but I've been thinking a lot about it, and you'll see why. So I want to talk a little bit about players from when we were watching baseball as kids, 80s and 90s. I'm calling it players that time forgot, because there's a lot of really good players from those decades that didn't make the Hall of Fame, are never going to make the Hall of Fame, probably are forgotten by most people. But I just want to talk about them a little bit. So the first guy I want to talk about.
In the interest of forgetting about them, Jeff, I'll pour myself a cocktail while you go on.
Yeah, well, you might need one for this conversation, because this is a guy that Chris and I have talked about at length, but I don't know if we've ever talked about his pitching. So the guy I want to talk about played for the Brewers in the 80s, but he's more well known now as a commentator on MLB Network. He's a very, how can you phrase it? Strongly painted.
Polarizing?
Yeah. Okay. Polarizing. Yeah. I was specifically going to talk about his painted coif, because that's something that comes up a lot. All right. So we've got some guesses: Ben Sheets, Cecil Cooper, but Mark Lemke. I'm talking about the sack man, Dan Plesac. And as a Brewer fan, when I was really little, Raleigh Fingers was the Brewers closer, and everybody knew who Raleigh Fingers was. And then after he retired, there was a couple of years where there was nobody in that gap, and the Brewers were terrible. But in 86, Dan Plesac came up and had a really good year in 86. And by 87, he was named the closer. And Chris, in his first 4 years in the league, 86, 87, 88, and 89, did you know that he was an all-star 3 times?
I watch a lot of the MLB Network, and I did not realize earlier this year, I think it was like during spring training, they actually talked about, they showed some highlights of him, and then they talked about his stats. And I did not realize how good he really was.
He was absolutely dominant. I mean, he came up as a 24-year-old, went 10-7, but his ERA plus was 147. And a reminder, the ERA plus of 100 is league average. So as a rookie, he was 147. In his next 3 years, he went 147, 176, 166, and 165 in 4 years. And he even got MVP votes. So I want to share this. Oh, man, we're not going to be able to see this, are we?
I can see it.
Okay. So
I see all-star with a 22nd in MVP, and all-star again. That's a hell of a start to the career right there.
Yeah. So 3 all-stars in a row to start the career. And he ended up pitching 18 years in the league. And by the end of his career, he definitely became a specialist. But still, he pitched at age 41 for Philadelphia, and he pitched in 58 games as a 41-year-old. And I'm not sure if you can see his ERA plus there, but it was, let me see, I think it was 149. 149 ERA plus as a 41-year-old in 58 games. So that's pretty good. That's a pretty nice career. And he moved around a lot, so he never really got settled in after he left the Brewers. Didn't make any more all-star teams. And he loves the Cubs more and always picks them over the Brewers. Yeah, maybe he never got over the Brewers breaking up with him. But sadly, yeah, he had a great career with the Brewers and is one of their legends. And I think he's mostly forgotten about now, except with MLB Network viewers. So he's the first guy I just wanted to talk about this week. And the reason that he was brought to mind is because I came across this picture of him. To Jeff, best wishes. Look at the young Dan Plesac there.
Wow.
That was
You gotta post that on Instagram and tag him.
Non-dyed brown hair.
Yeah, Dan Plesac, I go back and forth on him. MLB Network, like he has a good personality for the show. Like he'll say outrageous things just to sort of get a debate going, which is good. I mean, TV shows need that. That's kind of what Filmington does on spitballing. But there's two things about Plesac that drive me completely nuts. He did that, like he does those lists of like the 10 best pitchers and 10 best relievers. Like he does them like every month and posts them on his Instagram. But he does it just to irritate people. That drives me crazy. Like his rankings are always absurd.
Like you think that's why he does it?
Absolutely. There's no way a former major league pitcher or someone who has even a general knowledge of baseball would think that those pitchers belong in the order that he's putting them in. It just doesn't make any sense.
It seems like
secondly,
a lot of the stuff he does, but okay.
And I'm confident about this. You will never see Jeff nor I on this show with like dyed hair. We're gonna gray as we gray and let it be. And it's largely because of Dan Plesac. I can't. The dude just looked like he put like painter's tape over his face and just spray painted himself and went onto the set. And I can't do that. I just can't.
Appropriately, Will said Plesac's dye job kills me. And to be fair, that's why we've talked about Plesac probably 9 out of the 10 times we've talked about him. So it's hard to, Chris, as the saying goes, the Plesac list sounds like rage bait. So
yes, rage bait. Thank you. That's the phrase I was looking for. It was ridiculous. At one point he said was it Jackson Foley, the guy that was closing for Detroit, who lost his job briefly, and then he listed him as like the best relief pitcher in baseball in like late May. And I was like, that was only to get people to click and like angrily type in there. But I will say on the show, I respect his willingness to sort of do stupid things to be funny. Because sometimes like you just get guys sitting there talking about baseball, like Jeff and I frequently do. It can get, and I even have to admit this, it can get a little bit dull periodically. Not our show, Jeff, but other people.
Never us. But if you're talking about the same thing over and over with a bad dye job, it can get a little boring.
So he's done some funny skits on there. I like his energy, and he has finally let the hair go, which is great.
I was going to ask about that because I haven't seen him lately. He did let it go.
Yeah, he has let it go. Corey Jean, that's exactly how I feel. Yeah.
Battery says you guys have been dyeing your hair gray for years. That's true. I just wanted to look more distinguished, so I put a little gray in the sides, especially. Yeah.
I thought it would like give me more respect, but it's having the opposite effect, Jeff.
No, all we got to do is get enough content to make an Otani video where we got to sell our cards, and then that gets a good.
We got to work on the pump and dump. Right now, we're just the pump and hump or the
grab and grab. Filmington, who has intimate knowledge of Dan Plesac, has a very deep and endearing laugh. Probably gives good hugs. Well, Phil,
I look forward to the Filmington ranking of huggers out there. That would be an interesting short video for hashtag just for men.
Yeah, does that account in their war if they're a good hugger or not?
Right. Kenny Tomek, I am sorry to say we are not doing trivia tonight. My subscription ran out.
We could not fit it in the budget. I'm sorry, Kenny.
Yeah. Currently, we're out of prizes and we're out of money for trivia. So we're putting trivia on hold for a little bit. We'll see what happens after the postseason. But yeah, I hope everyone enjoyed it. We got to do it, I think 5 times, Jeff. 5 times. So I had a good time with it. So we'll see. We'll try to bring it back.
Doing it. Yeah, we'll bring it back. Maybe if I can sell this Dan Plesac autograph poster or autograph picture to another Jeff, maybe we can get enough to fund it. I saw the question come up. I was, 8 when I got this. No, 10. I was 10 when I got this autographed, which is probably pretty close to his age on that picture.
It sure looks like it. Yeah, I mean, yeah, you definitely should post that and tag him in it. I bet he would respond.
Yeah, I should. Sackman. ATL Jeff Black, what's the thing you've had the most fun doing when it comes to acting? Oh. I've had a lot of fun experiences acting. Probably doing the voice stuff for Star Wars because that's a lifelong dream to get to do that. If I could ever be in a live action Star Wars, that might top it. But yeah.
Yes, I've known Jeff for a long time, and Jeff is very calm. I've really never seen Jeff is similar to my dad in that they don't get nervous for whatever reason. They're just, or if they do, they swallow it down. They swallow it down. They're not outwardly nervous.
That's acting.
But the day before you went to do Star Wars, you were like, we were at the gym, I think, and you didn't shut up the entire time. Like I could tell you were antsy about it. You were just like chatty. I was like, wow, Jeff is either on like speed or he's a little worried about this. But yeah, I'm glad it went well. That was really cool.
The thing about that was it was like I didn't even have to have the lines memorized. I had to have an accent. But when you do voiceover work, you go in there, they give you a microphone, you put on headphones, you got a stand where you have your script. So that's one less thing you have to worry about memorizing it. But still, it was, especially the first time. Your name's all right, Thorson. Here you go.
My name. All right. So before we start talking about Sapphire, I have some images I want to pull up. Doc's card says he has a great trivia question for the chat. So Doc, if you want to throw it out there, we'll have Jeff read it, and we'll see who can answer it the fastest.
Great. I love it. I don't know
another question. Michael Berry. Michael Berry.
I don't know who that is, Bel Air, but it's always good to remember your first auto.
It sounds like a relief pitcher.
SFO Sox fan, extra views. How many of you got on those older Otani videos the past week or so? We still get some views. I haven't even watched the first Otani video we did, Chris, which was the rookie cards to target. I can't imagine what the prices were at then, and I wish we could go back and buy those cards that we were talking about.
Yeah, we should probably revisit that one. Maybe what we should do is we need to get a new thumbnail for that one too. But yeah, we could go back and like go through it again and be like, well, none of these prices are close to what we said they were.
Yeah, we should put an update out. That's true.
All right, here's Doc's cards question. Jeff.
All right. Who is the only closer to hold franchise records for saves for two different teams? The only closer to hold franchise records for saves for two different teams. I've got one pretty strong guess, but we'll wait. Okay, we're getting some guesses. Hoffman. We got Raleigh Fingers or Goose. They both were on multiple teams.
All right. Side note, Jeff Black says the first auto he remembers getting was Mickey Mantle, and he was 5. That is spectacular. I don't remember anything from when I was 5.
Yeah, what a memory.
Yeah, right?
All right, we got a lot of guesses here. Lee Smith, Francisco Rodriguez, Will Smith. Bel Air is going with the guess that I would go with, which is Jeff Reardon. I would guess for the Expos and Twins, I was thinking. But
what about somebody like Francisco Cordero? Someone who like you don't think about him, but he moved around a little bit. Like for the Reds, a lot of saves.
He might have moved too much. Yeah. He was with the Brewers, closed a bunch for them.
I'm just trying to think of like it can't be too big a name because most of these famous people stayed with the same team a lot. Ooh, K-Rod is Angels and who else? How many years in Milwaukee did K-Rod have? I don't think
not enough. I don't think.
Tanner Klein says Felipe. Oh, come on now.
Oh. What? Oh man!
I think pretty soon Felipe Vasquez is going to be pitching to Wander Franco in a Dominican,
the Dominican correctional facility. Bruce Sutter, I don't think he closed. He was, I believe, a starter when he was with the Cubs. Kenley Jansen,
Dodgers, yes, but I mean, who else? 1 year in Atlanta, like a couple years in Boston.
Anyone with the newer teams like the Nats, Marlins, Papelbon? Did he close enough?
Did Rob Nen close? Oh,
Nen with Miami.
I almost said that. Like Nen with the Marlins, and then with the Giants.
Eck, I don't think Eck
couldn't be
closed for anybody. Well, no, he closed for the Cardinals at the end, didn't he? But
okay, all right. No one's gotten it yet, according to Doc's card. So let's keep throwing some.
That's it.
All right.
Yep. So SFO Sox fan, you and Chris, I believe, came up with the combined knowledge. Spurred Chris on to.
Rob Nen's a weird dude because his first name has 2 B's, but his last name only has the 1 N at the end. That always threw me. Not that I'm writing guys' names a lot, but you get the idea. Yes.
That's I gave you the assist for calling out the Marlins. I don't know if Chris saw it or not, but yeah, I gave you the assist. That's a great trivia question. Thank you for providing that.
Yeah. Yeah. If we get our trivia back and running again, I may put that in there and see if people pay attention.
Yeah. So all you guys who are watching now, you're going to get a easy one when we get it back.
I don't know. It depends. If they're drinking like I am, Jeff, they may be a clean slate in the morning. Okay.
Zane, I got to do voice work on the Bad Batch, the last 3 episodes of the series. I played a few characters. There was another question I wanted to get to, but
no, go ahead. I'm going to look up something else real quick if you want to find it. I have a fun segment for the end of today, but first I do want to talk about Topps Chrome Sapphire for a few minutes.
Yeah, let's talk about Sapphire before we get to your.
Okay. So Topps Chrome Sapphire right now. You want to guess what it's selling for?
All right, let's remind everybody it's a 32 card box, right?
Correct.
And it came out, I think retail was $4.99.
Was it? I think it was less. I think retail was like $3.99. It was under 400.
Okay, I'm gonna guess $500.
Yeah, these are going in the high 400s, like 480, 450, 460. Once you factor in sales tax on eBay, you're looking at a $500 box where you get not a lot of cards. But what does it have going for it? It's got one guaranteed autograph in every box, and the auto checklist isn't nuts, but the base checklist is pretty big, isn't it, Jeff?
Yeah, it's the whole 700 cards, right?
Yeah, I believe it is.
Yeah, that's what Dave.
Yeah. So I mean, your odds of pulling a parallel of a big player are really, really slim. I mean, you could not pull a single all-star, or not even. I mean, you could just pull a lot of relievers.
Yeah,
if you're lucky. A lot of
relievers. Guys who aren't even in baseball anymore, $15 a card, SFO Sox fan. But what you can pull, Chris, is some short prints, photo variations for the first time.
There are some photo variations in here, and there are rookie autos in here. And I have tried, guys, for like a week to get Jeff to buy one of these, but I can only peer pressure him so hard. So let me show you real quick the card that I'm trying to bully Jeff into buying.
Yeah, and right after Chris tried to bully me, the next day that seller sent out an offer.
Yeah,
Chris
it's almost like I'm the seller of the card.
You might be, yeah.
but no, I wouldn't do that. All right, so one thing I will say about the Sapphire release is the autos look absolutely incredible. Now I wouldn't buy a box and roll the dice, but the autos look great. Look at this Jackson Churio card.
Exactly, Bel Air. How can I justify this? That's the marital pressure.
Yeah. Yeah, just look at this card.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
It is a great card. It looks great. Okay, so the auto's an auto.
Yeah, it's a Jackson Churio auto. Not the worst auto in the set in terms of autograph
get to that
length and quality.
It's great.
But yeah, this is great. And my wife was even on board, Jeff, because her favorite number, when she used to play volleyball, her number was 11. So anyone with a number 11, she instinctively likes.
Well, that's a reason to buy it then. Let me go. I'll be right back.
Yeah, I mean, explain that to the credit card, right?
How much is it up for? I don't know, like $2,800.
Yeah, it's about $2,500. Yeah, it's a lot of money. It's a lot of money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thorsten's not a believer in Sapphire.
And honestly, like I don't. We could have this conversation for hours. I don't really understand. Stay away from that card, Chris. The purpose of Sapphire is like it's a nicer version of Topps Chrome. So what are we to do as collectors? Does that mean that Sapphire is just better than Topps Chrome, so we shouldn't bother with any Topps Chrome cards? Because I don't think that's right. Because I think a gold refractor out of Topps Chrome outsells a gold refractor out of Sapphire.
It does, but I think there was a while that it didn't, and that's when Sapphire was more
limited.
Limited, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I think the extra parallels in Sapphire are hurting it. Even though they look good, I think it hurts they're printing too much of it, in other words. But
yeah, I'm excited to see the black update to answer this question.
He has so few cards at this point, right?
Yeah, my favorite is his SSP. It's grown on me, standing with the sunglasses.
Do you have it? Do you have it close to you?
No, because it's in our grading.
Nice.
I usually have it close by, but I do not have it here. It's in the grading pile.
Yeah, but I mean, when I look at this, I understand why this card deserves a premium. Like, this does look cooler than his Topps Chrome Auto, but I just don't get. It's weird because Topps produces something and they put it out, and then like a month later, they're like, "Hey, here's a better version of that."
Yeah, well, that goes along with what people are talking about in the chat. Roger says there have been so many releases lately. Yeah, because we've got Cosmic Chrome. So you got Topps Chrome, then Cosmic Chrome, then you got Sapphire. What do you do?
Yeah. And Roger, I will tell you, and this is just my opinion. Don't take this, take it with a grain of salt. I have zero interest in Cosmic Chrome. Zero. I know some people love it, and I've been blasted in the comments and like in spitballing for talking shit about it, but I don't see the purpose of it. It's just it's just like it's an offshoot of Topps Chrome. It's unnecessary.
Yeah, use some of those images and put them as an insert set. Great.
Yes.
BFG, I'm glad that we could do some good. Chris, look, we're doing some good, so we can tell this to our therapists. Your show saved me today. Almost bought a card listed as an SSP on a whim, but researched it, and it was just a mislabeled SP. That happens a lot. So kudos to you for looking it up.
Yes, good job. And Will Sports Cards here. He asked Filmington about Sapphire Chrome question when hobby was hot. Yeah, I agree. I think Topps Chrome by itself, with a few exceptions, like the Sapphire Acuna. If Acuna can come back and reestablish himself, his Sapphire card will be a special card.
There's some other
always going to be exceptions.
Otani's base and auto.
Yes, I think Otani's Sapphire is far better than his Chrome, than either Chrome card that he has.
Okay. We're with you here, Doc. Stadium Club is inexpensive relative to what everything else is going. So it still provides us some fun without feeling too much guilt for blowing money you could spend on a single.
Yeah. So Jackson Holiday is on the auto checklist. Here's his card. Don't hate it.
No, not bad.
Nope, not bad. On defense, I know people usually prefer hitting images, but it is what it is. There's the Ellie De La Cruz Sapphire auto. Kind of an action shot on defense.
Okay. Yeah. He's got a long reach.
He sure does. And he's going to pick this ball and throw it at about 106 miles an hour across the diamond.
Or
So this is the Jackson Merrill rookie auto. And this one I wanted to just take a second here.
Yeah. Okay. So is that an incomplete card?
Is this auto
cursive J and then he ran out of ink?
This auto really bothers me. This auto, like this irritates me because Jackson Merrill can write his name. He's not a child.
And we know he can write his name because he's written it.
That's great. That's a great point, Jeff. In Topps Chrome, Jackson Merrill also had rookie autos. And we actually brought up, Jeff, you want to pull up that slide there?
There, it's up.
It's a little small, but I mean, you can see on the left is how Jackson Merrill signed his Topps Chrome rookie autos. And on the right, he just doesn't give a shit. And this is how he signs his Sapphire rookie autos. So I want you guys to tell me, like, as a perspective, it does look like the print symbol. If you were looking at a Jackson Merrill rookie auto, does this quote unquote signature on the right on the Sapphire card, do you have any interest in that? Or do you want, because he signed his full name on the Topps Chrome, does it make Topps Chrome more valuable?
It's an interesting question because we've talked about this with Otani, right? His signature changed after 2019? When was the last year of his original signature?
2020, I think. I think in 2021 it changed.
Yeah, and people talk about that a lot, wanting his old signature. Doc, it's difficult because I was telling Chris he probably signed this full name on the left, and then he realized how many autographs he was going to have to sign, and so then he wussed out and went the other way. So I get that they have to sign in 60 sets, some sets worth of autograph cards, a lot of them, but at the same time they are being paid for them, and it's just such a cool way to endear yourself to a fan.
It is. And they're not doing it for free, like Jeff said. And if they don't want to do it, you don't have to do it. There's no gun to your head here.
Look at Mookie.
Yeah, Mookie just said no and walked away from the whole thing. So, I mean, if you're going to do it, do it. But that J negates all these Sapphire autos. Like, I feel like if Jackson Merrill becomes one of the great Padre players and puts up 10 incredible years, that signature is going to wreck the value of those cards.
Yeah.
It might help the Topps Chrome cards long term.
That's true. Yeah, and you compare it to a good one. Will says like Juan Soto, Belair said Goose Gossage. Yeah, there's especially some of the retired players like Randy Johnson, Goose Gossage, Mariano Rivera. Those guys really have beautiful autographs.
Rivera's is absolutely one of the best.
Yeah, and it makes a difference. It does make a difference. And
Tanner Klein, by the way, is dead on. We talked about that Ellie card, and I said he's probably going to come up with that ball and then throw it 105 miles an hour. I might have been giving him too much credit, Jeff.
Yeah. I know Ellie's he's got a great future. He's got a lot of talent, but he by far leads the league in errors and strikeouts, which are two things you don't really want to be doing to build your popularity.
No, but he does a lot of other things extremely well. He's young. He can fix those two things. But Jackson Merrill, on another note, has got to fix that signature. That stinks. That just stinks.
M. Parsons is bringing up another auto, Smith Shaw, which if anybody hasn't seen it, look it up.
Yeah, actually, I have one right here. I'm glad you mentioned that because I meant to talk about it earlier and I forgot.
Well, let's remove this. So
so
here.
Give me a quick second here.
Oh, sorry. Let me make you big.
You don't have to do that. Just for something real quick. Wow. I'll pull it up in a minute. But another fan of the show, or friend of the show, I should say, messaged me, and I will get his name in a second. That Jeff and I talked about AJ Smith-Shawver, Braves pitcher, has rookie autos this year.
Yep,
and I talked about his autograph and how it looks very special. You can kind of think about his name and how you would sign your name if that was you. And that's exactly what he did. And it's fantastic. And we talked about it for a few minutes. He messaged me and he said, this guy said he loves AJ Smith-Shawver. And he has sort of PC'd him and has a whole bunch of rookie autos and he has duplicates. And would I like to have one for my collection? I said, please. So he sent me one for free. And this is AJ Smith-Shawver's Topps Chrome rookie auto.
Does that just say ass?
You bet it does, Jeff. That is this card puts a huge smile on my stupid 10-year-old face.
But it's not just the letters. He's got a little flourish to it. So
yes.
That's
kind of half-assed, if you will. He threw an R in at the end. But he basically just wrote ass in giant letters on all of his rookie autos. This is how he signs all of his cards.
That's great.
And
it's kind of like the thumbnail you put up for this show, Chris, with the A's.
Yes. Yeah, if you want to, can you pull that up at all? We could kind of combine them. But yeah, if you've seen the
I don't know how to do that.
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, if you guys have seen the A's hat that's been going around, they actually sold this somehow. A hat that says like A's, and as it fades.
I found it. Let me try to. Okay, hold on. Let me share this.
Okay, the person that sent it to me, his name is Gregory, which I'm hoping is just an Instagram name or a YouTube name and not just his parents, taking advantage. But that A's hat that's fantastic. I like to think that someone in A's marketing knew exactly what they were doing. But
they should give this to all the fans.
Yeah, so we got a lot of ass going around. Put it that way. But yeah, if you're an A's fan and you hate the owner and you hate what's happening, I would still be tempted to buy that hat, just to show them how you really feel.
Yeah, it is true.
Yeah, ass hat that's exactly what that is.
Yeah,
that's pretty great. I hope to see a lot of those around California as we go.
Yeah.
But anyway, so yeah, in conclusion, I think that the autos do matter.
Autos do matter. Now, I want to see some of those SPs. So Sapphire traditionally hasn't had photo variations, but this year they announced them. So Chris, being the photo variation SSP connoisseur that he is, was very excited to see what sort of images we get on these Sapphire SSPs. And what have you found so far, Chris?
All right. So I put up a post. I put up a story on Instagram. So beginning of this week, there's 15 players have image variations in Topps Chrome Sapphire, which is great. And unlike Topps Chrome, one thing I liked initially, Jeff, is that they had more star players and less. It wasn't as rookie dominated as Topps Chrome was. Like we really needed like a Curtis Mead image variation. Like who the hell's that for? So thankfully, in Sapphire we got Tatis has one. Acuna thankfully has one. Bryce Harper has one. So Soto has one. Judge. The potential was really, really high.
There were photo variations last year, Maury says.
In Bowman Chrome.
Bowman Chrome Sapphire.
Yes, there were rookie image variations. But
right, Gunner has one.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. In Topps, this is the first year Topps Chrome has done them. So let me pull up a couple here, because one of these is without a doubt, Jeff, the single worst card of 2024 so far.
Yeah, we got some great names. We thought there's going to be some great cards.
Yeah. So here, let's just get into this right now. Where is my We'll start with Julio Rodriguez. Huge baseball star and expected to kind of take over the game this year, but didn't quite get it done. But the fact that he's on the checklist, Jeff, makes me think that they had to make their decisions about this pretty early on. So this is Julio Rodriguez's. That's a little tricky to say. That's his Sapphire image variation. And I will say, this is one of the ones that, when I did that poll, Jeff, and I asked everyone if they thought the pictures were cool or were lame, this one was split right down the middle. Yeah,
I can see both sides of it. It shows personality. At least it's on the field. He's wearing a uniform, which is not always going to be the case. So I could see both sides of this. I don't mind it as much as some of the other ones for sure.
Exactly. I was okay with this one. It's not great, but it's not terrible. We can live with it.
All right, Doc votes lame. Doc votes lame, but
okay. I mean, it could be better. And that was the thing I thought. I was like, oh my God. Like, if you remember, they Topps removed atomic refractors from Bowman's Best to make Sapphire seem more special. So I figured, oh my God, if they're doing that, then these images have to be like, they're going to choose like 15 of the best images.
Pull out of the vault, like the best images they could have. Of the players.
That's what they have to be doing that, right? Well, obviously that's not what they did, unfortunately.
Right, look, somebody else.
All right, so this is Aaron Judge.
Okay.
I'm not going to lie. I kind of like this one.
I kind of like this one too. Yeah, I mean, I like the dark background behind them.
That's one thing a lot of these they did. They definitely sort of removed the background, so it's like a silhouette almost. We got the wink, the finger point. I joked with our buddy Short Print a Day on Instagram that I'm pretty sure one of these cards is going to be tacked up on his headboard within 2 weeks of release.
M. Parsons is damning this with faint praise. Compared to the others, it's good.
Yes, this one, this is a little bit, it's different, and it's an image we haven't seen before. A wink and a point can go a long way.
Yeah.
All right. So I can live with that one. This one, though, is just a gigantic bummer. We got Jason Dominguez, his Topps Chrome. I mean, what are we doing here? What's the point of this? I don't get it. I don't know what they are using.
Yeah, so this is one of the first ones I saw, and then there were a couple other ones that all had similar warm-ups on, so I didn't know if that was the theme, like a pregame.
Yeah, there are a lot of warm-up type shots, including this one. Hold on, this is Bryce Harper had one. So
he looks hungover and an hour late to the game. They call this jogging.
Yeah, he looks like
0 for 2 on Dominguez short prints. Yeah, we've talked about the other one.
Well, they made 3. He had one of Bowman Chrome too. And yeah, I would say I'm not impressed with any of them. I mean, he plays again, homered off Verlander, the first pitch he saw, standing ovation his first Yankee Stadium at bat. Why are we seeing one of those images?
Yeah. No more Jason image variations. Jay Marble, yes, start a petition. We need to find Chris a job with Topps, choose the SSPs. Maurice, have you seen any of the Topps Now SSPs? I have not, except for the Otani ones, now that they're really promoting the heck out of it, printing a lot of them. I have not seen the Topps Now SSPs. It's hard to get too excited about a non-pack pulled SSPs for most of us image variation fans. Tanner says, I'd rather have the Garbage Pail Kids. Thorson says they should get him on the can doing a pregame dump SSSP.
A shout out, by the way, to Doc's Cards for the Buddy Christ reference. Well done. As anyone who grew up in New Jersey or Pennsylvania will get that. I won't offer any more information. Either get it or you don't, and that's okay. Bryce Harper is a 31-year-old professional athlete. And on this picture, Jeff, when I saw he was on the checklist, my immediate thought was he's going to be a post when he stared down Orlando Arcia. I don't want to see that on a card exactly because I saw
but
it
you
in
do
real
want to
life.
see it also on a card because that's a huge moment.
Yes. But instead, you know what he's wearing here, Jeff? You know the word that we use?
I believe it's
learned?
toque.
That's right.
With toque.
With
Wearing toque. Toque. I think it's toque. Didn't our Canadian friends tell us it's toque?
Probably.
Okay, so we got an opposing viewpoint. Bel Air says, reminds me of the Franco Harris rookie card and Joe Namath and the Joe hat. Kind of love it. All right. Well, do you also love the Mookie Betts hat with the stank face on?
The one thing I will say that in a positive about that Bryce Harper card is that it's the T-shirt. Right. That there's a lot of Philadelphia in the card.
It is, yeah.
So there, he does have that going for it. Now, another one of the okay. So here's a good one. All right, I'm okay with the Shohei Otani one.
All right, Doc, come back to us. Come back. Yeah, I mean he's actually wearing a Dodgers uniform, right? Yes. I don't think this is airbrushed.
That's a little. They have to airbrush a lot.
Airbrush all the hands. These are Angels warm-up jackets.
So this I'm okay with. I think they still could have. My expectations are just too high, Jeff, is probably what the problem is. So I'm okay with this one. It does remind me of his Celebracion insert from last year, where the back of the card talks about the Japanese samurai helmet that they always celebrated with. And then the picture shows him not wearing it. Just fantastic. But it's worth noting, this dude back here does not seem to like Shohei Otani.
He's like, that guy again, giving him a 5.
I don't know if you can get a look at that guy's face, but that's...
Oh, yeah. We can see he's staring daggers at the back of Otani.
Yeah, he doesn't seem to be like a huge fan. Okay.
Former Dodgers DH. I don't know who that is.
All right, hold on. All right, this two I just want to get at real quick. Sapphire.
Is there a card of Shohei getting the sunflower seed shower after a home run?
Not yet.
There should be.
There should be. If you saw that mock-up, my wife actually made a Shohei Otani card. I put it up on my Instagram. I thought it was just fantastic. Okay,
hey, Chris, can you give us another zoom in on that guy? I think Tanner's right. I think that is Mark Pryor. So he's probably like, why isn't he pitching? He's got to be out there.
You know what? That does look like Mark Pryor. Yeah. Good eyes, Tanner. Yeah, he's probably like, don't hurt your elbow high-fiving these guys.
Yeah. He's like, man, wait till next year. I'm going to get that.
That's right. All right. So here's one that, I feel like I'm such a complainer a lot of the time. But so here's Ellie De La Cruz, right? This is the best picture I could find. And he's wearing the Viking helmet, celebrating a home run.
All right. Progress.
Which sounds cool, except when you realize his golden mirror was him wearing the Viking helmet and celebrating a home run at a Series 1.
Give us a little variety. It's not, he's the most exciting, one of the most exciting players in baseball. Why don't you get a picture of the 30 stolen bases he had against the Brewers? Maybe when he stole home this year.
Yeah. How do we not have him stealing home on a card yet?
Stealing home.
But yeah, so then his golden mirror and his Topps Chrome SSP are the same thing. Like it's not the exact same image, but he's wearing the Viking helmet and celebrating a home run. So I guess if you're a Reds fan or you really love Ellie De La Cruz, you got to get all three to sort of complete the Viking helmet trifecta. I mean, I get grumpy. I get grumpy when I see the same thing repeatedly. It's a weird thing for a guy who's been married for 20 years to say, but I'm going to say it when it comes to baseball cards.
Jay Marble's wondering if it's an inaction card with the Viking helmet. Not exactly. I mean, he's celebrating. They put it on him in the dugout.
Yeah.
So it did look like Rick Aguilar. I got to give you credit.
A little bit, yeah. All right, so Mike Trout was on this list. Now, I'm gonna cut Topps a little bit of credit because unfortunately there wasn't a ton of Trout action.
He wasn't on the field a lot, but to be fair, he was also on the field at the beginning of the year when all these pictures could have been taken for what?
Correct.
40 games before he fell off a cliff and got hurt.
But when I look at this card, Jeff, and I look at the Bryce Harper card, someone at Topps really, really likes the idea of like multiple team logos on these image variations.
Oh yeah, I get that.
That's definitely kind of I don't want to say theme, but it's a thing that we're seeing a lot of. The hoodie, the hat. I mean, you can't see it, but he's probably, wearing holding crutches here.
He's probably got his walking boots on. Yeah, as an aside, Jay Marble and Bel Air are talking about the inaction cards from 82. Those were great, especially because of that 82 Topps design where you had the kind of the stripes down the sides.
Yep. All right. So We're going to go through 3 more. Okay. 2 that I think are actually pretty good. And then I will show you guys the absolute worst card so far of 2024.
Yeah, I love the old Angels hat. Good point. Good point. Yes, this team just takes pictures of the players walking out and counting them as SSPs.
Yep, true. So here we got Fernando Tatis Jr. Extremely talented. Yeah, I like this one. We got an actual celebration of something that happened on the field.
And he's been on fire lately. He's been he's been reminding us why he was one of the most talented players in the league for a couple of years before his ointment issue.
Yes, before his neck issue and other issues as well. Again, not the sharpest knife in the drawer, but extremely talented Major League Baseball player. And that's a cool card. If you like Tatis, I like that he was on this checklist.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like we haven't seen a ton of Tatis stuff, and maybe rightly so. I don't know, but I like that card. I think that's cool. Some emotion. At least he's actively playing baseball, which is nice.
Holding boobs.
Right.
KZ Card Connection says the person should be fired for not getting Bobby Witt on the checklist. And that's come up a couple times in the chat that Bobby Witt is a pretty big omission.
Yes, agreed. Bobby Witt and Gunnar not being on that checklist. That's a huge swings and misses right there.
I mean, even in June, even in May, but June, you knew they were going to have big seasons. So
yes,
still had
absolutely. All right, so we got 2 left. I want to talk about Acuna's because when I first saw this, I had a hat on and I threw it across the room. But the more I looked at it, I
don't even mind it. When Chris first sent it, I thought it was pretty funny. It reminds me of other things.
Yeah, it does. But that's not a comparison I want to make with Acuna. But when I saw that, I was just like, "Are you kidding me?" The guy went 40-70. We've never seen it before, and this is him with like 3D glasses looking at an eclipse. But I thought about it, and I'm like, okay, at least we know we can pinpoint the exact date of this card. I think it was like April 8th or April 9th.
Exact moment. Everybody remembers seeing people with and without glasses looking at this eclipse. I'm glad he has glasses on.
Yep. And, at least he's got a little bicep flex going.
Yeah.
And, I like horizontal cards. So this one grew on me over time. I think I was still upset that it's not standing at second base, but he's not playing baseball, but at least he's holding a bat. So
yeah. Yes, he's holding a bat. He can't use it, but he's holding it. We've got total eclipse of the Braves. Future so bright, I got to wear shades.
Oh, I like that one.
Could have been worse. And very visually appealing. Yeah, I don't mind this one.
It is. I believe it's the only horizontal one. So for whatever reason, I don't know. This is one that I will probably, maybe not the red, because this guy wants like $1,200 for the red. But this is a card I will definitely pick up at some point down the road.
M. Parsons, who seems to have some inside info, wants to mention you spent an hour researching eclipses.
Yes.
Is that true? Because you wanted to make sure that this was from an eclipse. It was possible that he would be wearing this outfit.
All right. I talked earlier about how when I'm drinking, I tend to forget things. Let me put this into perspective for you. I did spend about an hour looking up eclipse and paths of eclipses, eclipses, to see when this would have been.
Mm-hmm.
And we found out it was like April 8th or April 9th. I forget the exact one of those dates in it. But ironic isn't the word. Oddly enough, Jeff, I was in Atlanta. Whoa, hello. Jeff, I was in Atlanta this day. We were there. We saw the game that night. I was there when this eclipse happened. No recollection of it whatsoever. None. Absolutely not. But I asked my buddy who we were there with, and he was like, yeah, there was an eclipse on the Monday we were there, or whatever day it was. I'm like, oh boy. So that's a little brain damage for me. Not a great sign. I looked at my phone. I don't have any like eclipse related photos. So I don't know, but I was
probably
there.
Looked at it and were blinded by it, and that ruined your memory of the moment.
I don't know, but yeah, that didn't make me feel great about decisions I've made in my life. Thank you, M. Parsons. There was a bit of we did like right around the stadium is tons of like bars and restaurants. So we attempted like a battery bar crawl type situation. I remember the game. I mean, it was baseball.
Vaguely, right?
Yeah, vaguely. Yeah. So this was the game where they honored. It was the anniversary of the 715th home run that Hank Aaron hit. We were sitting in the upper deck, and the Braves lost by 1. I remember that stuff. But during the day, I guess I had as Homer Simpson's memory would say, Jeff, there was a scene missing.
Bama Slamma, thanks for joining us. Chris, we got a question here. I think this is a good one for you. Maurice Campbell says, do SSPs with parallels count as SSPs?
See, I don't think these are SSPs to begin with. I would say these are just your basic SPs. I don't know. I would generally say no. I think to be a super short officially, and here's where nomenclature gets us. To be an SSP noun, I think no parallels. It's just an image variation that's incredibly rare, like a golden mirror or those
same number as the base card in a set with no parallels.
Correct. So this, I would just say this is an SP, a short print, but it is, and this red parallel of it would be super short printed.
Agreed.
A short print red refractor. That's how I would describe it, but that doesn't mean that's what everyone's
doing that, right? We're even getting like the sparkles or the speckles.
Yeah.
So anybody who is in the path of this storm, please be safe. It sounds like it's pretty bad over there on the coast. So Chad, take care of yourself.
Yeah, please be careful. I hope your Wi-Fi stays good so we can continue slab blabbing. So anyway, I think this card is unique. The more I look at it, Jeff, the more it's growing on me. It's kind of silly, and this is sort of fun. And if they want to have fun like this with image variations, I am all for it. All for it. But Jeff, fun with SSPs doesn't mean this. So guys, strap in.
Before you go to that, somebody's talking about a game or two that started late in order to have a stadium full of fans looking up in Eclipse. Yeah, it was a huge event. That would have been a pretty fun theme. You could have like 10 players looking up at the Eclipse from various fields or something like that.
Man, how drunk was I before that game started? Well, anyway, that's a question for me and my therapist. Okay, so while that non-baseball action image variation is really fun, this is the worst card of 2024 so far. And I hope it won't be beaten, Jeff, but who knows?
You never know.
With update just around the corner.
The ineptitude of Topps knows no bounds. I don't think
so.
Restrictions on it.
In Topps Chrome Sapphire, Juan Soto's base card is with the San Diego Padres, which again, I think shows us how far in advance they're planning Sapphire. It may be like, Jeff,
that's ridiculous. That's absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, that's nuts. Like he's been on the Yankees for 8 months.
Yeah.
A little bit crazy. So his image variation on the checklist was listed as Juan Soto, New York Yankees. So
we're going to get a Yankees card. Yes. I mean, he's had airbrushed images in Series 1. He was on the box for Topps Chrome and didn't appear. So come on, let's get some good Yankees cards, right?
It was Series 2, Jeff. He was on all the packaging for Series 2 and not in the set, which is fantastic.
Yeah.
And he's US 1. He's card number 1 in update on the Yankees. So this would be his first Sapphire Yankees card. Sure. So what's it going to be? His first game at Yankee Stadium,
right?
Like him and Aaron Judge,
something. Okay.
Yeah, it's got to be something cool of him with his Yankee jersey. That's what it has to be. But that's not what it is.
All in denim with sunglasses. Why? I mean, I guess this is continuing in the tradition of putting them in, putting SSPs of guys at the red carpet awards wearing something.
I don't know what this is.
I mean, I don't know. Is he saluting the fans as he's walking off the team bus?
Yeah, he's wearing a Canadian tuxedo. It looks like Denim Dan. I mean, this is legitimately terrible.
Corey's throwing out that it was on. Yeah, watch the Padres had like a denim day.
Oh my
This is
God. You
it's
know what?
from.
I bet we could, if somebody watching this, I can't do more multiple things at once, but if someone wants to go to Getty Images and look up Juan Soto denim, let's find out if he was actually still with the Padres when they took this picture.
Yeah.
Zach Morse. I mean,
Yeah, they just airbrushed the Padres fans out of the background. Yeah.
Yeah,
Look at all that denim.
Yeah, that's not the outfit of someone who's about to sign a $500 million contract.
I mean, Royale, this is like, I don't know. This is splitting hairs. Is this better than the warm-up sitting doing nothing? I mean, would you rather see the Paul Blackburn treatment with him on the phone in the locker room?
I don't know. Los Bravos. Thanks for getting the reference. Yeah, that's a great movie. Super Troopers. You guys got to check that one out. Salute Your Short Prince. That's a fantastic Nickelodeon show. Not the Prince part, but yeah. I mean, I look at this and I'm just like, if someone at Topps, I would compare this, Jeff. If you guys saw on Instagram, Jeff, who was it who had do you remember the username that had the cards with the strings that PSA just like cut?
Oh, I do not.
Someone on Instagram sent in like 90s inserts and they have strings on the cards from what we understand. And a PSA grader and then the person above the PSA grader just cut the strings off the card, like damaged the cards and then said they weren't going to grade them anyway and like sent them back. And the collector that had these cards like got on the phone, obviously with PSA, and they offered him like $50 in credit.
It was Tommy Toploader.
Tommy Toploader.
Yeah.
Yeah, they offered him a credit and wouldn't put in writing that they'd made a mistake in damaging his cards.
And they wouldn't pay him back the declared value, which is the whole reason you're supposed to put a declared value when you submit to PSA.
Yeah. So that whole story like legitimately sent like shivers down our spine. Thank you. I collect each row. That's it. Yeah. Tommy Toploader. This like sent shivers down our spines. Like there are people in positions of authority or important positions in this hobby, Jeff, that have no concept of this hobby whatsoever. Right. And that is absolutely terrifying.
And then they don't want to take accountability, which is even worse.
Yeah. That's just it's baffling. But yeah, I would say the person who chose this photo and said, yeah, people are going to like this is probably right along the same lines as the person who deliberately damaged that card and then was like, nah, we're not going to grade it.
I mean, is it the designer of the jacket? That's why they wanted to get some pub for it. I don't know.
Corey Jean, cheers to you, man. Stay safe, stay dry.
Okay, so some suspense here. Building. Chad L says this image.
Oh,
per Getty.
If you want to Instagram it to Jeff and I, we could probably share it. Either Baseball Card Addict or My Favorite Cardboard.
Oh, I'm seeing. Look, Yankees versus Houston, March 28th.
Oh,
is that like opening day?
That's opening day. That's probably him walking into the stadium for opening day. This photo. All right, Tanner Klein confirms. Thank you, Chad L. Thank you, Tanner. I mean, if they're going to use an opening day photo, how about one where he's on the field?
I mean, you couldn't take it 4 hours later, 3 hours later. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, Will Z, I think you're right. I mean, I think there's definitely some complacency at PSA because they're just so far out in front of everybody.
They're so far out in front, and they're still getting further out in front, so they're hiring and putting people who may not be qualified in there. That's
that's the story that like literally makes Jeff and I, we're putting a sub together. We're just like, I mean, I don't know. You would like to think like if you worked for PSA and that happens beneath you, that person's fired. Like they're immediately done. Like they're done, and you have to pay out whatever the value of those cards is.
Like paying for what the value is. Yeah.
So the incompetence went up like 2 levels. It wasn't just the grader; it was the person above the grader who like fought the mistake too. I
was commenting and saying it was inexcusable, and he did respond that they ended up compensating me, but not to the level of declared value, which makes me wonder what the point of putting a declared value on it is. And remember, with PSA, unlike BGS, at least BGS, you're not paying, or you do pay based on what you say that declared value is. So if you're grading a $10,000 card, it costs a lot more than grading a $200 card. And they say that the reason for that is because it goes to insurance. So if something happens and they have to refund that, the person who's sending the $200 card is supposedly not paying the insurance for the guy sending the more expensive card. That's at least the rationale, the public rationale we get. I think it's just because they can do it. So if that's not even holding up, your declared value is not even holding up, I don't know what we're doing.
Yeah, that one, that really troubles us because we use PSA a lot. And like, I enjoy our blind reveals, but when stories like that come out, you just like, it makes you wonder. I mean, honestly, when my Austin Riley went from a 5 to a 10, Jeff, I also wondered, like, what the hell are we doing?
Right.
Yeah, Z-Dot. Maybe that's it. Deadline for photos, 7 o'clock. Game start at 7:10.
We got to get that in. All right. Yes.
That's what we got. Yeah, I don't know. Needless to say, Jeff, I don't see this card with this photo taking on a life of its own, like that Bryce Harper Phillies picture at a stadium club.
No,
this might be the anti-Soto shuffle,
where you get images, where images are going to be the ones standing out and standing the test of time. Oh, what's his first Sapphire Yankees image? There it is.
Yeah.
Casey's got a question for you, Chris. What are your thoughts on multiplayer SPs?
I love them. This is a theme I wish Topps Chrome would run with, is like teammates.
Yes.
Like, give me like that. Oh shoot. Hold on. Let me pull it back up. I gotta find it. When I saw this Otani, shoot, where was it? He was like slapping hands with his teammates. Damn it. I want to pull it up so it's easier to understand my incoherent, angry ramblings. There it is. Okay. Agreed. So look at this card. So here we have Shohei Otani high-fiving. My dream scenario for this exact card is it's horizontal, and he's like high-fiving Mookie Betts on one side and Freddie Freeman on the other. So we see like Shohei's face in the back of their jerseys. You kidding me? I would buy every parallel of that card that existed.
Yeah, and Abel's throwing this out there. Multiplayer SPs would be great. Add an auto version for dual autos. Now, Chris, we recently got a paper SP with 2 future Hall of Famers on.
Did we?
SSP.
Oh, you're right. Yeah. I was like, that dinosaur is not going to the Hall of Fame, Jeff.
Oh, it might. Fossil.
But yeah, no, I love cards like that. There's some really cool ones in like 2016 update. The Bryce Harper SSP is him with Machado.
Yep.
Like that's awesome. I dig that stuff. I think it's great. So I would love to see more of it.
Yeah, and or which is it the Stadium Club with the Betts, Trout, and Judge on it?
Yes, 2019 Stadium Club. Yeah, that one's fantastic. SFO Sox fan. Yeah, this is a great. I don't have it in front of me. But yeah, in 2021 Topps Chrome, there's an SSP of Betts and Bellinger doing like a foot or a knee high five.
Yeah.
Because Bellinger had hurt his shoulder, so he wasn't giving anyone high fives. Like, that's a fantastic card. 2 MVPs right there celebrating. Yep, Ortiz Pujols. That's what Jeff was talking about. 2017 Topps, David Ortiz and Albert Pujols, 2 of the best Dominican players ever. 1,240 home runs, Jeff?
Yeah, it's a lot of home runs between those 2 guys.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of that stuff, and I wish they would do that more.
Yeah, that would be a great theme to have.
Yeah. Sometimes it doesn't work out. Like in 2013 update, the image variations were from the All-Star game, and a lot of them were like the player, and then Robinson Cano was with them. So that one didn't age great.
Yeah, a lot of Robinson Cano in that.
But at the time, it was a fantastic idea.
Yeah, and I like the idea, even if it doesn't work out sometimes. Sometimes it's going to, so.
Yes, KC Card Connection. Yeah, the Torkelson, Spencer Torkelson's update SSP is him with Cabrera, which is a great passing of the torch kind of moment. I think Torkelson still has time to right the ship, and he has been killing the ball the last couple of weeks for a really hot Detroit team.
For sure, and maybe he'll get some playoff exposure. But my contention is that even if he doesn't, like even if he completely flames out, that'll still be a card that's desired because it'll probably be his best card with one of the franchise's most cherished players.
Yeah, do you want a Topps Black with just Torkelson, or do you want the SSP with him and Cabrera?
Yeah.
And Julio Rodriguez, same set, same year, it's him and Ichiro after Ichiro threw out the first pitch, I think, on opening day in Seattle. It's a great card.
Yeah. Corey makes a great point here, and this is what Chris was alluding to. The multiplayer SPs like dual or triple autos for me. Only good if all players pictured are relevant. Absolutely. Nothing worse than a triple auto with Otani, Trout, and Rendon. Yes. That's absolutely true. And we talked about that recently with was it Wander, J-Rod, and Bobby Witt or something like that? It was
yes. Oh, that's right, Jeff. Yeah, Wander's on the top, and people were like,
my suggestion was just cut it off, send it into PSA, get it slabbed as authentic, but you've got the two stars on there and don't have to worry about Wander. Yeah, so totally agree, Corey. Thorson sent Chris, can you get a hold of this? I just sent you guys a cool dual auto I had done with an inscription about the amount of combined hits. Ooh, I'm intrigued. Will you send it to Baseball Card Addict?
Oh, I got it.
You got it?
Right at it. Oh, yeah. All right,
hold
on. Let me share this real quick.
Ooh.
Yeah, these leaders cards, man. There's just so many
leaders cards. You got two. I mean, how many hits? How many hits are combined in that Thorson?
It's inscribed as 7,309.
Yeah, incredible. Incredible. Awesome. Great idea. Okay, so Thorson, while we have you here, we don't have Big Mac's card box, but how did you get this done? Like, what order did you find a show that Rose was at and then a show that Carew was at, or did you buy it already done? Let us know. That's really cool. Yes, Abel. Now they do have the blue flip for authentic autographs. You're right. So that'd be a good use of that service with a Wander. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I imagine some people will do that, like with other Wander cards, as sort of, as a joke, as a novelty, maybe. Yeah. All right, so Jeff, we're at 1 hour and 50 minutes. I want to wind down here. It's about time to wind down, I'd have to say. Yes. Cardboard Showcase, of course. Do you have one? There was one on eBay, remember? Yes, I remember. There's like a 9.5 on the BGS pop report and a 10 at PSA, but it's the same card because it was cracked out of the BGS slab and then gem. So there's only one of those cards like known to exist. I don't know. Cardboard Showcase might have it, or Cards in Crypto. One of those two accounts has it on Instagram. I would not be surprised if it was in. So I wanted to end tonight with a couple of card auctions, of eBay auctions that happened in the last week that I lost. Cards I was really interested in, Jeff, but failed to win or got blown out of the water or, for whatever. Yeah, you have it. Okay. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, check out Cardboard Showcase. That's on there. That's one of the best uses of two guys on one card, because those two guys came up. They've basically been paralleling their entire careers. Like they played on like every youth USA team, right, Jeff? Like 16 under, 18 under. Together. Yeah. Rookies in the same sets, like our first autos in the same sets, and it just keeps going. Anyway. Before you get to that, Chris, Drew and Pete were at last year's Chicago Sports Spectacular. See, that's a great project. He got the card, found a place where both were signing. Awesome. Really cool. Yeah. Very cool. All right. Give me a second. I have it right here. Okay. All right. It's a little bit small, so I apologize. If I had a nickel for every time. This is a 2012 Topps Chrome Cliff Lee, but it's an atomic refractor. So numbered at a 10. Yeah. And this was from that like 4 or 5 year window, Jeff, where Cliff Lee was just unhittable. The top of the mountain. Incredible. I will never forget World Series against the Yankees. I forget who I'll never forget, but I am forgetting. I don't know who the batter was, but he like popped him up and stood on the mound and just like basket caught the ball, like not a care in the world, like just the ultimate disrespect as he was twirling his shutout. I love this card. Horizontal with the Phillies. Yep. Just looked great. Numbered at 10. And I thought, yeah. What would you think this might go for? Okay. Were Atomics numbered that year? Yes, out of 10. 2012. 12, 13, and 14. They're numbered out of 10. That's why I was intrigued. And we know there's a lot of hardcore Philly fans. Maybe more Philly fans than Cliff Lee fans, but I would think that would go for about $125. All right. I will also add in, this was ending at like noon on a weekday. Interesting time to end the auction. So I feel like you could get under $100. I wish I shared your initial belief in this, Jeff. I was actually talking to Ben in our chat here as this was ending. I'm like, I'm going to win this for like $60. No one else was paying any attention to a Cliff Lee 2012 card, but they were, Jeff. They were paying attention to it, and I lost. It went for $102, as you can see right here. But had I bid what you said, maybe I would have won it. Depends how bad you want it, because yes, I would have bid a little bit more than that on that, but you never know. I like Cliff Lee. He's never going to the Hall of Fame or anything, but this is just like a really cool Topps Chrome card. It is, again, a great use of the horizontal space that we talked about.
Yeah. I like that you can see his name on the back too. And God damn, he was so, I went back and looked at his stats too. And he was like 7-0 at one point in the playoffs. He was absolutely untouched until he was in I think the World Series with the Rangers when they were playing the Giants. Like he lost a couple games, but I don't think he got lit up exactly, but didn't quite work out for him. But
he's a postseason monster. And I mean, he had some health issues, of course, and then he became kind of like a mercenary. But at his peak, he was kind of Pedro-esque just in terms of what he was able to do.
It's weird how he bounced around too. Like I had to go back and look at this because in 2010 he has cards with the Mariners.
Yeah, he was a mercenary. I mean, there was a gun for hire. He was signing short deals with people that needed an ace.
Yeah, so he spent some time in Philly, then Seattle, then back to Philly, then in Texas, and I think back to Philly again. Unfortunately for him, he never quite got that ring.
No, too bad.
And it's crazy when you think about that Phillies rotation of Halladay, Cliff Lee, and Cole Hamels. They never won a World Series. They won the World Series before those guys got there.
Yeah, that's crazy to think of. You say pitching wins championships. You've got 3 aces, or at least 2 2/3 aces. You think they would have won it?
Yeah, but it turned out.
True, you're right. Those few years for Chrome Atomics were great. Autos, base cards, just those ones out of 10 are incredible.
Absolutely, absolutely. All right, next up, you can guess. I'm a really big fan of this card.
Yeah,
this was really cool. So this is similar to those 2 Stadium Club autos I showed. Was it last week? I think.
Yeah.
Just a great kind of fun shot of Joey Votto being the weirdo that he is, the weirdo that we know and love. And this was up. It came up for like $60, I think was the buy it now price. And I saw this. I'm like, oh man, I really want that, but I was looking at something at an auction. I'm like, I won't have any money to buy that if I win this card. And I not only did I lose the card that I was watching, but when I went back to buy this card, it was gone. So several swings and misses for me on that day, but this was great.
Bad. I love the old Stadium Club logo on there. Mad City, thanks for joining us. Yes, I'm going to try to keep Chris away from Cheerio cards. Let's go Brewers in the playoffs. Vinny wants to know, didn't they have Roy Oswalt at that time on that Phillies staff?
Yes.
Was that at the same time?
Yep, he came. Yeah, same thing. Post World Series win. So like 2010, I think it was Halladay, Lee, Hamels, and Oswalt. And Cody Ross knocked him out.
A lot of career wins.
And then 2011, if you remember, Jeff, Chris Carpenter threw like a 2-hit shutout in Game 5 of the division series to beat Halladay and knock the Phillies out too.
And that is 11. That's the year they won the championship, right?
Yes. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah. Some crazy, it's crazy. Those staffs did not win. But as a Braves fan, I can tell you that having great starting pitching.
You can relate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Next up, 2018 Stadium Club Aaron Judge image variation. Yeah. I call this an SSP. There's no parallels. He's just holding his bat out in something of a sexual nature. But this card is just cool.
That's a big bat.
It's a big bat. It's a big bat and 2 big hands. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to bid like $300. And I think I'm going to walk away with this card.
Yeah, because for the longest time, this one was really low, under $100 for a long time.
Yeah, yeah. And they don't show up much, but this is his first Stadium Club variation. He didn't have a rookie.
Right.
Anyway, if you were also watching this, maybe you won it, maybe you didn't, but it sold for $665.
Yeah, that blew anything you were thinking out of the water.
Absolutely. Yeah. I ended up having no chance, as it turned out.
Jay Marble, what happens if the Braves play the Brewers in round 1 of the playoffs?
It's happened.
Yes.
We don't talk a lot during the games.
Brewers owe some payback.
Yeah.
Thorson, this is great. By the way, the best part of getting that Pete portion of that card is he goes, that's a lot of hits. I had most of them. Sounds like Pete Rose. Perfect.
It sure does. Yeah.
Down the bat photos are great. Oh, Corey Jean wants to know, wasn't that the same year Cody Ross ended the Tigers staff of JV Scherzer as well?
Yeah. Yeah. 20. What was that? 2010? 2010. Yep.
2011. Yeah.
I remember 2010. The World Series started. It was the Phillies. Wait. No, I'm sorry. Yeah. No. Tigers and Giants. Sorry. Tigers and Giants. Game 1 was Justin Verlander for the Tigers, who, had incredible. And the Giants were throwing Barry Zito, who was like early in that massive contract, and he was already trashed. So it was just like They burned out all their pitchers to get through the Phillies to get into the World Series. They're like, the hell with it. We'll just punt game 1 with Barry Zito. So if you go back in time and bet on any single game in baseball history, this might be the one to bet on. The odds of the Tigers winning, like if you bet $100, I think you won like 8 cents.
I wonder what it closed at right before the first pitch.
Yeah. So sure enough, if you recall, Pablo Sandoval hit 3 home runs off Verlander, and the Giants won the game, and they swept that series. One of the best Tigers teams, probably of all time, just dominated in the World Series.
Playoff Pablo.
Yep.
Got him a big contract.
All
right. What else? You got one more, you said?
Yes. Hold on a second. Let's just look at this one. So here's a Jackson Chourio card. I was watching. I'll full disclosure, I made no attempt to win this card. But rookies, Chrome image variation, national anthem, red, speckles, numbered out of 5. Did you bet on this, Jeff?
Yes, early on, like when it first came up. So I think I bet about $100 on it, which if you saw when Chris pulled it up, that was not close to winning it. The speckles did it for me. So, and again, now is this an SSP? It has parallels, including the speckles. Only the speckles, really, right, Chris? Only speckles.
Yeah, I mean, it's an SP with a parallel. I refuse to call this an SSP.
Agreed.
I refuse.
Same here. So yeah, I did not make an attempt at it. And looking at that price, there's no way I would have ever paid for that.
Yeah, this went for like $1,600 and change. There are quite a couple of the 20 SPs in Topps Chrome are these national anthem shots, which I'm fine. It's fine. I think it's kind of a cool idea if they were all that way. Just not enough of them are. Like if they're all 20 were guys in various formats, looking at look at the flag from behind, the jersey, mix and match, low angle, head on, whatever you want to do. I'd be totally fine with that. But I think there's like 5 or 6 of them. It's just not enough. I don't hate this card, but I'm not paying $600 for a red speckle. I would take Jeff went after the SFP instead, which is the better image.
I think image as well.
It's a hashtag not in denim. I enjoy that
much. In a surprise to no one, Cardboard Showcase has that judge card you just showed in a BGS 9.5. Yeah. It's a beautiful card. Yeah,
I feel like anytime on the show I pull up something really rare, I'm like, man, this is just a beautiful image or such a great card. I'm pretty sure I know where I can
IG accounts. If you're not following Cardboard Showcase, follow him. Because there's some really fun cards to see. It might make you feel a little bad about your collection, but it also gives you opportunity to see cards you never see.
That's right. Inspiration, Jeff. It's always inspiration.
Mark says 2 base versions of the Chourio, and they're both off center. There's a lot of centering issues, and even with the SSP, and a lot of other issues, as I've seen 2 SSPs in person and have not seen a gem yet. So
yeah,
quality.
A lot of dimples, a lot of centering issues, but that's pretty typical for Topps Chrome, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But
yes. So is there anything else you want to say? This is a good show, and we surprisingly talked less about Otani than I thought we might. So we got a few other things in, including the sack man.
Yeah, we had to pretty aggressively turn the show away from Otani to get to make it happen, Jeff. But we did it. Good for us.
Yeah, we did it.
Good for us. Again, Jeff Black, I think you're still here. Thank you one more time. I am so excited to have this card. This makes me very happy.
I know what I was going to ask Chris about that card. Are you gonna grade it? You're gonna keep it in the tops? What do you put in a 1 touch? What are your plans with that beauty?
I think for right now it's going to stay as it is.
Okay.
I think it'll probably just go in a 1 touch at some point.
Yeah.
I didn't look at it too closely because honestly, if it were bent in half, it wouldn't matter to me too much.
I would leave it like that, except for the image. I would want that in a 1 touch, just because you can't see the top.
I know they're covering up the base. So yeah, I think it's headed for a 1 touch. It'll probably it'll sit there. Unfortunately, in a dark box. But I will revisit it frequently.
Yeah, awesome pickup. Yes, we'll talk about updates coming. The checklist pages the checklist was like 12, 13 pages. There's a lot of stuff to sift through there. I'm looking forward to the black parallels of Skeens, Chourio, Merrill. It's going to be great. So
yes, I'm excited to see what the base images look like, Jeff, and I'm excited to see what the SSPs are. I hope they're good. I just hope they're good. If you saw Paul Skeens Bowman Chrome image variation, it's like a pajama card. He's wearing like gray pants and a black shirt. It's not great.
Yeah.
So hopefully we get something good for these rookies, and it's whatever we get. We'll
see an action shot. Cheerio.
Yeah, special.
Yeah.
We'll see.
All right. Well, thanks everybody. Thanks for the question tonight, Doc. Rob Nen, that was a great trivia question. Thanks everybody for tuning in with us. Remember to call your parents this weekend. And anything else you want to add, Chris?
Next week is SSP Thursday again. It's sneaking up. So get those SSP posts ready. We have a couple things in store to show next week. Yeah. I mean, we're always excited for it. So
yes. So remember that for next week. If you haven't yet, please hit that subscribe button and like button. Really helps us out, and keep checking our channel because we're going to have we have some more videos in the works. So if you haven't watched the Otani yet, please do before it's completely out of date with his prices the way they're going. But thanks everybody for watching. And next time we talk, the regular season will be over. We'll know the playoffs. The playoffs will have started, so a lot will happen. Oh my God! Yeah, next time we talk, the wild card round should be over. Yes, as long as they get those weather games in, right? Yep. Well, it's gonna be over either way. I think that they're scheduled at Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Wow. Right. One of our teams will probably be in the division series, and the other one will be heading home. Yeah, man. I know which I hope it is, but I know. All right, guys. Well, thanks everybody for watching, and we'll see you next week on Blabbin Bout Slabbin. Thanks, guys. Good night.